Good morning. My name is Victoria Seed and I am coming to you live from the Vesta Approach in Manchester. It is still freezing cold and I have my little radiator on next to me, and when is the nice weather coming? Who knows? Hopefully next week. So what do? I help family members who are living with a loved one's drug or alcohol use to reduce their stress so that they can live a better life. And I do this by teaching really effective strategies to cope. I offer one-to-one support, I offer group work support, and I also have a membership as well, and a brand new course coming out very, very soon called Stop Enabling and Start Helping. And I will be releasing that in the next week or so. So I hope you are having a very good day. What we are talking about today is why being future focused is important in family recovery. And why I wanted to talk about this is because a lot of family members that I start work with are pretty kind of past focused, which is important because you've experienced a lot of trauma. And I am definitely not saying, be toxically positive, because that's just weird. Like, we can't be happy, joy all the time. What I'm saying is that it's important to be future focused around your loved one when you can. Okay, so let's just make that clear. What I would love you to do is head over to vestaapproach.co.uk and download my freebie, which I've written especially for you. And in that is my top 10 ways to family recovery. So I've put my top 10 tips in there, a handy checklist, and some really, really useful organisations that you can access help and support from. So please, please, please head over and do that. And then you will also receive a weekly email from me with my live and some other bits and bobs that are going on. So you'll get handy tips straight into your inbox. Okay, so let's go. Let me know in the comments if you're watching. Not everybody wants to do that. I am on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on my new YouTube channel as well. So drop any comments in, I'll get a notification, or just message me directly through one of my socials and let me know what you think. Let me know if you need any help. Okay, so why being future focused is important in family recovery. So reason number one, it stops you from being stuck in the past. So like I just said before, please don't confuse what I'm saying here with the need to deal with things that have happened or the need to deal with trauma. I am absolutely categorically not saying that. But what I see with family members is some of the following things. So constantly revisiting past issues, whether or not they have been dealt with. If you keep going into the past, because I've worked with people who use drugs and alcohol for a really long time, as well as supporting families, it keeps them stuck there. And so it will prevent them from moving on and changing. So they may, family members might use past behaviours as a kind of weapon to try and make their loved ones understand how they feel. But again, that is not advisable. Please avoid doing that. Bringing the same thing up over and over again. Just think about when you've done these things, and everybody has in this situation. So as usual, I really want to say that, don't beat yourself up if you've done these things, because I'm guessing you have, right? Think about how it makes you feel when you do that, and think about how do those things make your loved one feel when you keep bringing it up. All right, is it actually changing anything? So the one thing that I do want you to keep bringing up is your boundaries, because they will constantly get pushed against with your loved one. And what you can do is reinforce those boundaries, not just to them, but sometimes other family members and friends that are drawing you back in as well, because you've got to put yourself first and your own health needs first, right? And asserting those boundaries, if that's the only thing you do, that is going to change things for you. Don't ring me after 9 o'clock. If you do, I'm going to block you from my phone. If you need my help, please ask for help. If you have an emergency, please contact 999. You know, whatever it is that's important to you. And I'm not saying that they are your boundaries, but they may well be. Assert those boundaries, assert them again, assert them again, assert them again, until that message is heard loud and clear. And it might never be heard, because if your loved one's intoxicated, you know, they might ignore that, but it's up to you to assert them, not them, right? So that is the only thing I want you to repeat over and over again. Number 2, if you focus on your future, your loved one is more likely to model this too. So you need to be a role model. And sometimes when family members are in this situation, they become stuck in, you know, the past, or not even being able to see past the end of the day. So you might lose your own sense of purpose. I've seen that a lot. You might lose track of your own values, what's important to you, the friendships that you have made, that you may have lost touch with people, you know, whatever it is, it's important that you carry on those things, because chances are, if you don't do that, it's not making any difference to their substance use anyway. All you're doing is putting yourself in a place of worry and stress. Okay, so you know, everyone then gets stuck in this cycle of drinking and drug use. It consumes them, and nobody can see past that crisis or that day, or even that week. And I know in recovery, you know, in some recovery models, it's one day at a time, which absolutely, you know, whatever works for you, that I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about as family members, focus on yourself. Think about what you want your life to look like. Set those healthy boundaries around you. Talk about what you're doing, where you're going. Stop living your life depending on the behavior of somebody else. Talk about the things that you do. Ask them what they want to do with their future. You know, what do they want to do? What do they want to do instead of drinking or taking drugs? What other interests have they got? Because you're sowing that seed that there are other things that bring pleasure, joy, reward, whatever it is your loved one's getting out of it, than that substance. If they see you moping around all the time, then they're going to do the same. So if there's one thing in this part that you take away from it, is that, you know, they need to see you having some positivity and belief in yourself, and also believe in them that they can change as well. That's important too. But believe in yourself and do the things that you need to do in your life to stay healthy. All right. And number 3, make plans together. So you might be like, oh my God, this is impossible. But these things can seem a bit weird, but making plans, even just at the end of the week, at a time when your loved one usually uses, is a fantastic way of focusing your loved one on something positive. So in my work, we focus on providing rewards to compete with the times that the substance is used. All right. So a simple way of doing this: write down all the things they've liked previous to their problem, or, you know, they've shown an interest in during. Highlight any things that you like as well, because you don't want to be providing rewards and constantly giving yourself to do things that you absolutely hate doing, right? So if your loved ones previously liked rock climbing, you've had never had any intention of doing it, don't be doing that. Pick something that you like, right? So your rewards can be people, places, things, films, meals, takeaway, whatever that doesn't involve using substances, hobbies, sports, whatever it is. Think about the things that they're interested in prior to problem use. Plan it in with your loved one, but avoid using ultimatums, all right? But these things are for when they are sober. So the way you get around that is saying, you know, I really enjoy spending time with you sober. How about we plan something in for Saturday night? What do you want to do? I was thinking about this, that, and the other. You might not get any, you know, any hook. You might not get any buy-in. But the more you do it, you should get it. It's not going to be fixed overnight, this stuff. You've got to work at it, and you've got to keep working hard at it. Try it out. Tell them you love spending time with them sober. Keep reinforcing that message. And this competes obviously with their substance use, and it reminds them that you can actually have fun together instead of arguing and conflict and, you know, upset, because there's another side to life and you can kind of lead on that. And it reminds the brain as well that you can actually get rewards and get your dopamine going from things other than the alcohol or drug. Really important. So just to recap then, 3 reasons why being future focused is important. Number 1, it stops you from being stuck in the past. Number 2, if you focus on your future, your loved one is more likely to model this too. And number 3, because if you make plans together, it will remind you that you can have a nice time together, and it will remind your loved one's brain and them that there is more to life than their substance. So once again, if you haven't got it already, head over to thevestaapproach.co.uk, download your freebie, my 10 ways to family recovery. It's got all my top 10 tips. You can download it, checklist, useful organizations, go and get it, and I will see you next week.